Hi, everyone. This is Anna Brandt, and I'm excited to bring this week's podcast to you. In this week's podcast, we're going to go over your marketing checklist and make sure that you have the foundation set for everything that you need for proper marketing. In my last podcast, we talked about network marketing your own business, and I received a lot of response to that topic. And therefore, we're going to continue just a little bit more with marketing to make sure that you understand the current statistics that are out there and that you know all of the areas that you need to have your foundation set.
You are listening to the Anna Brandt podcast for the year 2022. Anna Brandt has been a professional photographer for over 23 years and has taught worldwide in over 34 countries and continues to educate in person and online. My name is Ava Brandt, and I am happy to welcome you to the 4th season of my mom's podcast channel. We hope you subscribe and stick around.
Let's start out with the world's most used social platforms. I'm going to go over the top 5 as listed on Hootsuite.com. You may or may not be surprised at the numbers, but I'm going to go through them anyway. Number 1 is Facebook. Number 2, YouTube. Number 3, WhatsApp. Instagram is number 4, and WeChat is number 5. You may be surprised that TikTok is not in the top 5, although TikTok is number 6, with Facebook Messenger being number 7. And you can go down throughout the list and you'll find Snapchat and Pinterest and Twitter and Reddit and a slew of other ones. Now, I coach and teach on a regular basis beside running my own photography business. And I'm always amazed when I talk to photographers and I ask them, are you active on Pinterest or YouTube? And many of the photographers will say no. They may say, oh, I have an account, but I'm not really using them. They're pretty much focusing primarily on Facebook and Instagram, and many of them on TikTok, which I find interesting because TikTok is further down the list. It's not that far, but it is number 6 on the list. And it definitely doesn't have the reach that Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram do. Now, obviously, it depends on where you are in the world. WeChat is a Chinese app primarily used in China. I have WeChat that I learned to use when I was in China teaching. And so therefore, I still have the WeChat app and use it from time to time. So if you're in China or you've been to China or visited China, then most likely you know about WeChat, which is also why it's number 5 on the list, being as how big China is. WhatsApp is primarily used in European countries, but it is used in the US and many areas in South America, and it is very popular and number 3 on the list. Now, of course, we all know Facebook, but many of you will be surprised to see that Instagram is number 4. That's because the statistics on YouTube are mind-blowing. I'm going to run through some of the statistics that I found in my research because I know how important all these platforms are. I registered my channel on YouTube in 2008. And while I don't post on YouTube nearly as much as I would love to, I'm expecting that to change in the near future. I do know the power of YouTube from a monetary standpoint and just from a visibility standpoint. One of the reasons why I'm one of the most recognized newborn photographers in the world is because of my YouTube channel. Many countries relied on my videos years ago before anybody was really teaching as strong as they're teaching now in the US industry. So let's go over some of these statistics. Pinterest. And I'm not really doing these in any particular order, but Pinterest, which is number 14 on the list of most popular used social platforms, according to Hootsuite.com. Pinterest has 430 million monthly active users. As I said, it's the 14th largest social network in the world. I tend to see a lot of infographics being the most popular on Pinterest. I've been on Pinterest for a very long time. And even though I don't post as regularly on Pinterest and Instagram, I do still receive quite a ton of traffic. I have very good statistics in Pinterest. Now, infographics, what are infographics? Top 5, top 10, any type of graphic that has historical or data in it, meaning you're going to add numbers and photos to show a point. So maybe top 5 shampoos to combat oily hair. Top 3 reasons why you want to get up early. These type of infographics really draw people in. How many times have you been drawn in by an infographic? Which is why if you know anything about canva.com, all you have to do is go to Canva and search infographics, and there's tons of fabulous samples and templates that you can use immediately. Canva is growing at a rapid rate. If you're not familiar with canva.com, you should definitely check them out. You can create infographics in seconds. Canva is a free graphic design platform that is available via any browser worldwide. Let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 850 million members. Do you know that this company has 19,000 employees? LinkedIn is amazing. And to me, LinkedIn is kind of like the Facebook for business professionals. Most of the decision makers are there. Over 65% of the members that are in LinkedIn are decision makers. That's huge. Over 65%. So basically the ones that are paying for photography services or that are in charge of marketing budgets and a slew of other things, you name it, 65% are decision makers on LinkedIn. Yet many of the photographers I talk to do not have a LinkedIn profile, or if they do, they haven't touched it. Let's go to Instagram, number 4 on the list with 1.4 billion users. But we knew that, right? We knew that Instagram was huge. And the top 5 countries that use Instagram, India is number 1 on the list, with US being second, Brazil, Indonesia, followed by Turkey. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube has 2.6 billion people watching videos every single month. 2.6 billion. What's amazing about that is years ago, I couldn't get anyone to do video. Every time I would talk to photographers about video, they would say, well, we don't have an Alex and we don't have a team and we don't have anyone to do it. And can I just do it on my phone? And now what? Reels are all the rage, right? Just 2 years ago, photographers would look at me and go, can I do videos on my phone? And now that's all anyone is doing. So Reels has gotten photographers to pay attention to video, but many of them focus too heavily on TikTok or too heavily on Instagram and not realize that the statistics of YouTube leave it number 2 on the list. Keep in mind, Facebook is still number 1. And when I post my videos on Facebook, my response is in the millions compared to Instagram or TikTok. So going back to YouTube, India has the most YouTube users in the world. And YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world after Google. But here's the thing about YouTube. The average age group is 15 to 35. So you also have to think of what is your target audience? Who are you marketing to? So if you're marketing to seniors or younger moms or people in their 20s or young adults or people getting married, that's a perfect age group. That doesn't mean that people over 35 aren't watching them. I actually have had quite a few clients say they found me on YouTube. Many people say they started searching for something and then my videos came up on YouTube, which definitely supports the statistic that it's the second largest search engine in the world after Google. Because many people think, oh, well, it's just YouTube and videos and aren't people really watching it? But it's a search engine. So if they're searching baby videos or how to wrap a baby, many videos will come up on YouTube in Google searches. If we go to Facebook, Facebook has 2.9 billion people that are on Facebook, with 200 million businesses using Facebook. And so many times when I talk to photographers and they say, oh, and I'm still struggling with marketing, I'm like, really? And then when I ask them why, they say, well, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think my work is good enough. And I have to repeat myself over and over and over again and say that marketing is not about how good you are. Marketing is about who you are. It's just that simple, guys. If I held to the truth that people tell themselves that marketing is about how good you are, I would have never marketed, because it's not like I wake up in the morning every day and say, I'm awesome. So I think as creators and photographers and as business owners, we constantly question who we are, how good we are we worthy? And so if we go down that terrible rabbit hole, we're not going to get anything done. But if we look at it as marketing is about who we are, and when you put out that holiday promotion and no one's responding, or that offer and no one's responding, you have to tell yourself, well, gosh, they're just not finding me. Instead of telling yourself, boy, I must really suck. It should be, okay, that didn't work. That means people aren't finding me. And I know this through my own. I mean, I market everywhere. I'm every single one of these platforms we talk about, including WeChat, including WhatsApp, including TikTok, Facebook Messenger, all of them. I'm all of them, Twitter. But when I exit a country, people will say, oh, I didn't know you were in London. Oh, I live right there. How did I miss you? And I'll be like, I don't know, because I send newsletters and Instagram and stories, and I'm on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, I'm everywhere. And people still say, oh, you were in London? And I'll be like, really? How many times have you ever said that about me? I'm sure if you're listening to me, you're smiling, because you've either seen those comments or you may have said it yourself. And so then I have to tell myself, gosh, I have to get the message out more. I have to find more ways to communicate and constantly get the message out. And then when I see my clients and they're coming in with a baby and they'll be like, oh, do you do holiday minis? And I look at them like, how do you not know I do holiday minis? Of course I do holiday minis, but they've just had a baby. They're not looking around for holiday minis. They've been spending the past 9-10 months preparing for a baby. And now they're kind of coming out of the fog, but not really. If you've had a baby, it's 4, 5, 6 weeks before you even start feeling human again. And then you're going to come up for air and be like, oh, wait, we're in the holiday season. I should book and get a holiday mini. And then all the photographers are booked up because we started selling holiday minis in June and July. So the message needs to be constantly communicated everywhere. You need to be everywhere. And so photographers will say, what do I do? Do I do newsletters? And do I do Instagram? And do I do Facebook and YouTube? But the answer is yes. Yes, yes, yes. And why aren't you actively posting on LinkedIn and posting the same information on LinkedIn when 65% of the decision makers in the world are on LinkedIn? And then photographers will say, well, do I just post the same content? Yes. And then the argument will be, well, what if they see a duplicate? Yes, that's the point. How many times have you seen an ad for something somewhere and then you think, oh, yeah, I should do that. And then you forget about it. And then you see it somewhere else. Oh, yeah, there it is. I need to do that. All the time on the TV. Oh, you see a new soap. Oh, I need to get that soap. That soap looks amazing. That soap has oil in that bar and it's going to be great on my skin. And you see it on the ad and you really want that soap. I don't know why I'm using soap as an example, but let's just say soap. That's probably a really terrible example, but I'm going to use it anyway. And then later you forget about it. And then you pick up a magazine. You're at the doctor's office far too long and you see that soap ad. You're like, oh, I should pick up my phone and go on Amazon and order that soap. We need these constant daily reminders because we're busy. And so posting the ad on Facebook, your client may see it and they may forget it because they're in the pickup line at school, or they have a child asking them for food, or they're busy working. And so they're not on Facebook all day because they're working. And then they get home and they collapse in bed and their phone's in their hand and they're like, they see your same information on Instagram and they go, oh, yes. And then they see your story. And then the third time on your story, you have a link. So they follow that link and then they sign up. And many of my clients, if they're listening to this, they'll start nodding their head going, yeah, that's about right. They'll see my newsletter. Oh, I need to call Anna. I need to book. They'll see it on Facebook. Oh gosh, I need to do it the minute I sit down. They'll see it on Instagram. Oh yes, I'm going to book Santa. I swear I am. And then if I post a story with a link to Santa sign up, there comes the booking. And so I don't sit there and go, gosh, why didn't my client do it the first time? I say, yes, it's working because you should be everywhere. And this should be the foundation for your business. Having seeds planted in every single one of these social media networks, having your name registered, having consistent brand, having consistent information. And you don't need to recreate new and fresh content each time. When you post on one, just propagate it and post it everywhere. And there's a lot of apps and other things that will propagate for you. Instagram now allows seamless integration with Facebook. So if you post on Instagram and you have it set up, it will automatically post to Facebook. And so each one of my Instagram accounts automatically posts to Facebook. You can have Twitter tied in. I mean, you can sit there and go through these apps and tie things in so that you're not recreating the wheel. Post on one and allow it to propagate to the other. There's a million different programs out there that do this. Why do they do this? Because the people that are creating these programs know how important it is to propagate your message across multiple platforms. This is marketing at its finest. I do believe you need to get out there, go to networking meetings, meet people in your town, donate to fundraisers at schools, host parties, get to know your neighbors, and a slew of other things that you can do in person. And we'll talk about that on another podcast. But just from a social standpoint, make sure that you are everywhere and don't neglect one for the other. And you're going to say, but Anna, I'm so busy. I don't have time. You do. You're spending all your time scrolling on Instagram. Stop scrolling on Instagram. Give yourself a 5-minute scroll time. Look, double tap, share some love, comment on someone else's post, and then move along. And that's another thing, by the way. So many photographers say, well, I'm not getting reach. I have to do reels and nobody's posting and nobody's commenting and 2 people liked it and one of them is my mother. You know what? If you look at my Instagram, most of the people responding or commenting to my social media, I'd say probably 85, maybe 90% are other photographers. Did you know that? Go take a look. It's mostly photographers. Rarely do I see my clients posting comments. Sometimes, oh, that's my baby, or thank you for the session, Anna. Maybe they double tap. But for as many sessions I do, I really don't see a lot of comments from my clients. I would love it. I would love it if my clients, after every single session, posted on Instagram a thank you, or when I posted their baby, said something that would make me super happy, but it doesn't happen. And I don't hold it against them. They probably don't see it. And actually, I have quite a few clients that aren't even on social media. I had a couple recently this week tell me neither one of them were on Instagram or Facebook. So I know that a lot of my clients are busy professionals, and that's why I said I don't hold it against them, and they're not on it. Or if they do, they don't have time. But photographers are we're the ones double tapping and commenting on each other. And I know that. Because my clients will come in and be like, oh, Anna, I see that you just came back from London. Or, oh, Anna, I saw that image you posted. When they come in and show me samples of images they like, it's from my own social media. So I know they're watching. I know they're seeing it because they tell me. But are they actually double tapping on the image? Are they actually clicking like? Are they actually making any comments? I really don't think so. And that's okay. That's okay because I'm still booking and I'm still producing the work that I need to produce. And many of my minis for the holidays are sold out and there is still room for booking and I'm doing the work. And I don't rely too much on the statistics or too much on the numbers. I look at them when I need to, but the result is obviously evidence in my booking calendar, right? So I urge you, whether you're a photographer, a business owner, small, medium, big, you need to get the message out. You need to market. You need to sell whatever you need to pay rent, whatever it is you need to do. You need to market like you mean it, and you need to be everywhere. If at the very least, the top 5 most used social platforms in the world, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, WeChat. You may say, well, Anna, I'm not going to be on WeChat and I don't really use WhatsApp. Then at least go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and be available for Pinterest and Twitter and everything else because it's important. And having your name and your brand and having a consistency out there in the world is important. I don't want you to worry too much about the numbers. Post consistently, do your reels, do your videos, share your work, send your message along. And the more seeds that you plant in the various areas of our world, whether on social or in person, it will all start working for you. I promise. Be patient and allow those seeds to grow because it will happen. Don't spend too much time on one platform versus the other. Do some time management, some time blocking, create a schedule and just do it. Do the work. I promise you it will come back tenfold. Hopefully, this message will help you understand that you do need to be everywhere, that your marketing message and letting the world know who you are is important. Please don't let your personal feelings about yourself or your work take that away from the fact that you just need to let people know who you are and how amazing you are and the work and talent that you have to give back to the world. As time goes on, you'll grow and grow, and then hopefully one day you can pass this message along to someone else who needs help in their own marketing journey. I'm Anna Brandt. Thanks for listening.
Did you like this podcast? We would love it if you gave my mom a kind review and reach out to her. To learn more about Anna, visit annabrandt.com. You can find out about her education opportunities at annabranteducation.com.